Since weddings are supposed to be once-in-a-lifetime celebrations, most people are willing to spend the whole 9 yards. From 10-foot-tall wedding cakes to $75,000 worth of flowers alone, yes, you heard right, these are the weddings straight out of fairy tales. So join us as we take a look at the most expensive weddings history has witnessed. But before we plunge into it, we must ask you, what kind of wedding ceremony do you dream of having? Anything out of the ordinary? Maybe an 11-foot-tall wedding cake or flowers worth $76,000? Let us break the record. Let us know in the comments below. Before we begin, please hit the thumbs up, tickle the bell notification to all, and tap that subscribe button if you have not already become part of our family. We appreciate it and give these videos in return. Now, get your wedding planner with you to watch this video because you know you are going to make some plans after these inspirations. Hit that intro. Let us start small, in relative terms that is. To start with, we have the 90s dream pair, 10, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. This couple married in a $1 million ceremony at a Malibu house in July 2000. When you are rich, security is a must, and they spend a whopping $100,000 on this alone. The security for the big day included restricting the airspace around the venue. You gotta have privacy, you gotta have silence. Remember we mentioned $75,000 flowers earlier? Yes? That was Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Can't get expensive enough with these two. The couple also spent a fortune on musicians, including a 6-piece band, and ended the ceremony with a bang, quite literally, by spending $20,000 on fireworks to ring off the spectacular evening. The next bang came in 2005 when the couple split, but this is supposed to be a happy video, so let's forget about this detail. Next on the list is 9, Elizabeth Taylor and Larry Fortensky. The 8-time bride had her fair bit of weddings. Since getting married once is cliche, you gotta do it 8 times. The saying 3rd time's a charm does not apply here. The lucky number seems to be 8 times. Anyways, her marriage to Larry Fortensky took the over-the-top cake. It only took a lot of money to get there. But one thing's certain, the love story is straight from a fantasy novel. The Hollywood legend Elizabeth Taylor met the construction worker Larry Fortensky in a rehab facility where both checked in for their drug problems. During this 8th and final wedding, the actress went the extra mile to make the day memorable. In the beautiful Neverland Ranch of Michael Jackson in Santa Ynez Valley, California, the actress said, "I do." The event was eventful with 100 security guards, a former Israeli army officer, a $25,000 Valentino gown, and epic standout guests, including stars like Eddie Murphy, Diane von Furstenberg, Macaulay Culkin, and Brooke Shields. And 5 years later, like the 8th wedding, the 8th divorce too happened. I guess lucky 8 wasn't so lucky after all. Maybe 9 or 10 might seem better? Do you have any guesses for the next on our list? It is getting competitive. 8. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Given that Kanye and Kim are two of Hollywood's most extra people, it's no wonder their wedding was an elevated show. Although cost estimates for their spectacular weekend-long party vary, Kanye's opulent wedding most likely cost at least $2.8 million. The extravagant couple began their pre-wedding celebrations in Paris and then flew their guests to Florence via private jet, which was not a surprise. Here they rented their venue, Forte di Belvedere, for $400,000. Because one dress is never enough, Kim wore 2 dresses for her wedding, one of which was a $500,000 custom-made couture Givenchy gown. Hotel rooms for their 200 guests in Paris and Florence would have cost them an arm and a leg, but nothing is unaffordable to them. It indeed was a celebration of a lifetime. We emphasize the word was. What is it with these celebs? The next wedding is in the castle from the Irish fairy tale 7, Paul McCartney and Heather Mills. The location was the ideal complement to the other extravagant, outlandish items that constituted their $3 million day. They served an exclusively vegetarian buffet of wonderful culinary items to their visitors, who numbered in the hundreds. Well, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Wondering what it is? It's the divorce, because it was much costlier than the wedding. The court ordered McCartney to pay Mills around $27 million as a one-time payment and another $13 million in assets. The knot was tied a bit too tight. Again, what is it with these celebs? 6. Alexei Shapovalov and Ksenia Tsaritsina. With an estimated $8 million engagement ring, you can expect the corresponding wedding would be equally magnificent. The icing to the cake was an 8-tier suspended cake the newlyweds were treated to, hundreds of flowers and even acrobats. When you are marrying a Russian oligarch, that should be expected. If we had it our way, we'd also have circus performers at our wedding. Maybe we'll throw a celebration once we hit 1 million subscribers. You'll all be invited if subscribed early. Do you know which couple is next on the list? It is expected but unexpected. 5. Donald J. Trump and Melania Naus. Did you expect that? Well, unexpected but not surprising. 3 seems to be the lucky number for Donald J. Trump. He married Slovenian model Melania in Palm Beach in early 2005, his third marriage. According to media accounts, the ceremony at Bethesda by the Sea Episcopal Church was elegant and traditional, but the reception at Trump's oceanfront estate Mar-a-Lago in a ballroom, said to be modeled after Versailles, was the epitome of extravagance. Guests dined on caviar, lobster, and truffles as Billy Joel performed. The bride donned a couture gown made by Christian Dior's John Galliano that had hand-stitched crystal rhinestones and pearls and took over 1,000 hours to produce at a cost of around $100,000. Even millionaire ex-president candidates don't always get what they want. The local town council refused to allow spectacular fireworks by a firm that had only days before performed at the presidential inauguration in Washington. What is an expensive wedding list without a royal function? Yes, next on the list is 4, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Millions of people watched as the couple embraced both of their cultures in an extraordinary ceremony that combined the enormous grandeur of the British royal family with a celebration of black achievement. From hiring British cellist prodigy Sheku Kanye Mason and Idris Elba to DJ to arranging top-tier security for their A-list guests like George Clooney and Serena Williams, it all came at a hefty price of $45.8 million, a classic princess fairy tale celebration. It also certainly helps that Meghan looked the part of a princess, wearing custom Givenchy by Claire Waite Keller and Queen Mary's Bandeau tiara, which cost around $550,000. All this fairy tale royal wedding, only for the couple to raise their royal fingers to the royals and live a life separate to it. Who saw that coming? For the next wedding, let us fly to India. 3. Vanisha Mittal and Amit Bhatia. Vanisha Mittal is the daughter of Lakshmi Mittal, one of the world's richest men. Her wedding to Amit Bhatia is, predictably, one of the most lavish ever. The couple married in the magnificent 17th century Chateau Vaux-le-Vicomte near Paris. Before the wedding, an engagement ceremony was held in the Palace of Versailles. The wedding reportedly had over 1,000 guests and cost something like $60 million. All costs of travel were covered, including jets, 5-star hotel accommodation to their week-long vacay. Lavish dinners, multiple parties and celebrations at the Palace of Versailles and Jardin des Tuileries. Of course, this is going to rack up that bill. Performers? Well, how does $300,000 for a 30-minute Kylie Minogue performance sound? Fireworks by the Eiffel Tower? Yep, these were just some of the other perks. Wow, just wow. We thought the local band charged an arm and a leg for their gig before we heard about this one. The ceremony lasted 6 days and the marriage lasted 12 years. That's one expensive mistake. The party is just getting started. Any guesses on the next couple? Well, it's the Ambanis. 2. Isha Ambani and Anand Piramal. Back in 2018, the wedding of Isha Ambani, the daughter of Mukesh Ambani, the world's 10th wealthiest man, and Anand Piramal, son of Indian billionaire A.J. Piramal, brought together 2 of the most prominent Indian families. It also showcased an extravagant money splash, because it was not in short, and the total amount spent was $100 million. Many of the family's celebrity friends, including Hillary Clinton, Priyanka Chopra, Nick Jonas, Ariana Huffington, and former Indian President Pranab Mukherjee. Long story short, influential personalities around the globe flew in for the occasion. And plenty was planned to keep guests entertained for the week-long event. There was even a private Beyoncé concert. The cherry on top, the Ambanis gave enough food to serve 5,100 people for 4 days as a gift to the city of Udaipur. And food, what is an Indian wedding without mouth-watering food, especially when it's the function of the wealthiest Indians? Finally, let's tick off the list with the royalty. 1. Princess Diana and Prince Charles. Of course, the royal wedding has to top the list. Denoted the wedding of the century, the people's princess and her groom said "I do" in 1981 in true royal fashion, with a $48 million bill that probably costs closer to $110 million today. Too many zeros. The highlight is 27 wedding cakes. Also accounting for the huge price tag was the 225-pound wedding cake, which stood 5 feet tall. Who wants to compete with that? The royal wedding between Prince Charles and Princess Diana, witnessed in person by 3,500 people and televised to 750 million TV viewers worldwide, is simply the costliest wedding ever. The devil is in the details, a memorable event that led the way to the most heartbreaking event later. Princess Diana was dressed in a David and Elizabeth Emanuel gown of sumptuous pale ivory silk taffeta and antique lace, adorned with thousands of pearls and a dramatic 25-foot-long train. She was chauffeured in a glass coach from her place to the cathedral. It was considered one of the most closely guarded secrets in fashion history. The New York Times wrote it as a fairy tale come to life. Well, it did end up like a fairy tale with a tragic end. So what do you think? Which wedding style did you like the most? How are you planning yours? Tell us in the comments below. Also, before you call your wedding planner, don't forget to like this video, turn on all bell notifications, and subscribe to our channel, because we will be back with more. We'll see you in the next one.